want to win in customs, but your team's too whack? Just hit me up on Discord and let me pimp your pack. Hello and welcome back to Pimp My Pack, the series where I take your custom packs and pimp them out. Now some of you may be wondering, Troubadour, what the heck is Pimp My Pack? Alright, so Pimp My Pack is a series I used to do last year, and then I kind of fell off of doing it this year, and then I decided to turn around and do it in a different way, and that's how I'm showing to you guys. And you know, for those who have been watching the recent videos, think of this as like my community service for the white truffle builds, all right? But before we get into exactly what we're doing here today, first thing I want to do is we've got a giveaway. Check it out. We got a wheel here. We got one for the people who want star pack, one for people who want unicorn pack. So we're going to spin both and see who wins. So let's go. So this is the star pack one. Let's see who wins the star pack. It's going to be Blue Jay Fan 5. Love it. I'm going to go ahead and throw that in game. Make sure that they are able to receive the pack. There we go. Congrats to Blue Jay Fan 5. Now let's go to the unicorn pack giveaway. All right. I think they entered both giveaways, so I'm going to go ahead and remove them from the unicorn one because them winning twice would be really interesting. All right, here we go for the unicorn pack giveaway. Who's it gonna be? Radicool12. Shouts to Radicool12. I know you've been around for a while and you've entered, I think you've entered giveaways and stuff like that before, so appreciate it. Let me go ahead and make sure this works in game. Okay, great. There you go. Congratulations to our two winners. Now let's get back to Pimp My Pack. So, Pimp My Pack, like I said, I haven't done it in a while. Here's kind of the gist of it is I have a channel on my Discord server where you can submit your custom pack to me along with a description of how you want it, you know, how it plays and what kind of changes you want to see. I then take that pack, test it out, make some changes, and then give it back to you along with some pointers on how to play it and some replay codes so that you can have an example of how it works. I used to make videos on this, but it turns out the editing process for this type of content just really sucked and I hated doing it. So recently, about a month ago, I switched to doing them only in the Discord server, which also is a great change because I hadn't done any Pimp My Packs since like April because I was just not motivated to do them with the videos. But this has actually motivated me to do them. I think I've done 4 now in the last month, so I'll be showing off all those today. But this first one here, this is my pimped version of Pro Gamer 9's pack. The basic idea of this is to use ailments plus a lot of small damage enemies to just overwhelm them using like Manticore weakness, that sort of thing. And here, I'll show you a few replay codes just to give an example of how the pack plays. And of course, if you want to try this out, I was going to say pack code in the description. I'll be honest, I don't know if all 4 pack codes will fit in the description. If not, you can join my Discord server. I have them all pinned in the Pimp My Pack channel if you want to try them out there. Or you can just manually copy what you see here. But yeah, first off, let me show off this first gameplay mode of this Pro Gamer 9 pack. Alright, here we are. Shouts to the update not being an update for a month so I can use this footage or this replay code from like a month ago. That's awesome. But yeah, let me give you a basic showdown of how this works. As you can see, we've got the Anubis here at the start of battle. It's triggering the Hedgehog and the Parrot as well. And the Flea and then this stuff, and then Manticore makes the damage go crazy. So you can check it out here. They got a big scaling team with Owl and Pony. Just look at the damage those do. That just did a lot of damage. And then, of course, we get a win because of the honey on the Hedgehog. And just skipping ahead to the last turn here with our level 2 Manticore, level 3 Hedgehog with Mushroom. Look at this here, 4550 Mongoose. They're going for a Woolly Rhino thing. This wasn't long after the update. Shoutouts to Bugwagon. But my Anubis is going to trigger here. Check it out. We get the weakness and the Hedgehog damage. That does 28. And then the next Hedgehog faints, or again, and it does 28 again because they fainted. And then we survive, get the win with the Anubis synergy. So that's one of the game modes you can do. Let me show off the next kind of gameplay mode you can do with the pack. All right, so this one's inspired by Brax, who spammed this kind of team in the arena a lot back in the day. But the basic idea is you use Bang-Eye Cardinal Fish to remove attack, and then you use some kind of high HP unit with a Chili or a Snapping Turtle, and then Toad makes it weak, and then Manticore can make it even stronger. Now, I think the Toad does get sniped at the start of battle here, and the Manticore, but still you can see the value of high HP plus the Chili just absolutely mows through the enemy team. I'm also going to skip ahead to where we've got a better example of the weakness popping off. Here we go. We can do it on this turn. Check it out. Level 3 Toad. Look at this. They got a big old farmer dog, chimpanzee. They're about to do some crazy scaling. And just look at the damage. Doing 14 damage with the snipe damage from the Toad. The Chili is great as well. And then, yeah, we're able to clean them up. And then skipping ahead to the last turn. Here we are. Look at this. 50-50 level 3 reindeer on turn 17. And they have the real Velociraptor to give back the stuff. They're going for the Yeti Crab achievement. Like I said, this wasn't long after the update. But just look at this here. Remember that was like that was like 50-50. We just killed it with splash damage only. And then the weakness is too much. Completely destroys the scaling teams. And yeah, the last game mode you can kind of do with this pack, I don't have an example replay of because I didn't record example replay. But the basic idea is using Anubis Microbe with Woodpecker to just delete start of battle enemies. I have a little clip playing right here that's from my Try Hard Tuesdays where I did a similar idea, but you can do that with this pack. So yeah, if you want to try out this pack, it's very fun. You get to do a lot of little damage snipes with ailments. It's pretty fun, pretty anti-scaling, and yeah, pretty cool. All right, next up, we have this submission from Cthulhu. This is a basic idea of doing a corn cob kind of centered pack, but not just solely focused on permanent scaling, because that can be kind of lame. There is some permanent scaling in here. I do have Chimpanzee as a backup, but that's not the main way you can win with it. I actually really enjoyed this pack. You know, I haven't done much corn cobs in a while, but I found the flexibility with what I was able to make here super awesome. And there's like 4 different, you know, like strong ways you can win with this. The first, you can do some big Blue Jay scaling. I mean, Blue Jays just gives you so many stats when you level it up, especially with Tiger. You can do Anubis Dung Beetle, which is still a thing. Yes, it is. Of course, there's still the Farmer Dog Chimpanzee, and there's also Farmer Pig plus Gelada Hooded Seal. Shout out to Ruru123 for that idea. But yeah, let me give you some examples of how this pack works. All right, so here's the Blue Jay version of the build. Now, I do have Chimpanzee in here. Honestly, Chimpanzee is optional. You'll get enough stats with Tiger, Blue Jay in battle. Mushroom Farmer Crow is very helpful, plus the cake gives you just a lot of feed triggers. Check it out here. So it's at 9 foods eaten, plus with the Tiger. Look at our stats. We have a 6-6 on Chimpanzee. No, that's a 33-33. I told y'all, Blue Jay's actually really good. And honestly, you don't need the Chimpanzee. You just need like some kind of way to feed the Blue Jay a lot, and then you can kind of go from there. We'll see another example in this replay here. Permanent scaling's cool and all, but you really don't need it with this team. Look at this guy, 41-47 Sphinx. You got the big rollaway monkey as well. They got 1 big unit. Well, guess what? I'm about to have 3 big units. Look at that. See what I mean? You don't need Chimpanzee. You basically max out your stats anyway. And yeah, that's basically the Blue Jay version of the build. Let's move on to the next idea. So this one is using Anubis Dung Beetle, which, yes, is still a thing. Shoutouts to, what was it, Rin Shadow for kind of showing this off. But you can see it can only do up to 3 foods now, but with Anubis and Tiger and stuff, just look at the start of battle snipes. Not bad for turn 10, especially with the Tiger. And then once we have enough feed triggers, and we'd even get churros on our Anubises, I should say. You don't even need the churros sometimes. Look at this team, Rhino, Malay Tapir, they got the Cuckoo Chick. Well, guess what? Start a battle, everybody takes way too much damage, and Rhino's not able to take out one of our pets. And then finally, right here, look at this. Elephant Blowfish, probably free-to-play opponent. We basically just Dung Beetle versus the world. It's not even like maxed out. Like, it's gotten like 1 food trigger, you know, 1 eat trigger. And we're still able to clean up this team with the power of the Dung Beetle. And yeah, now let's move on to one more replay. So So this one's Farmer Pig plus Gelatin Hooded Seal, which was shown off by Ruru123 in my Try Hard Tuesdays competition. Shoutouts to Ruru. Here's a good example. Here's a good example. Basically, it's a ton of in-battle stats thanks to Gelatas transforming over and over, so check it out. You feed corn cobs, Gelata transforms, feeds pears. The Hooded Seal turns it back to a Gelata. This one transforms after eating 2 pears and feeds pears. And then it gets transformed back. But then this one ate 2 pears, and you basically do that over and over, and you just get a ton of in-battle stats to just completely destroy the enemy. Yo, don't see Hippocampus very much. Or not Hippocampus, Hippogriff. That's pretty cool. I also had a replay for just basic Farmer Dog Chimpanzee scaling, but that's not very interesting. You guys know how that works. But here's a great example. Look at this. We got level 3 Hooded Seal and Gelatas. Just look at the stats we're going to get here at start of battle. I don't even care about the weakness. Just look at all the pairs. Look at all the stats fly. Incredible. You love to see it, and we're going to sweep them with the Behemoth. I don't even care about your Wildebeest with triple coconut. I got a lot of stats. We're going to clean it up. And yeah, that's the Cthulhu Corn Cob pack. Like I said, it's a lot of fun. And you don't really have to focus on the scaling. And if you want more detailed descriptions of how to play the pack, join my Discord. In each one, I talk about like the strategies of how to play it in the early game and the late game, what kind of strategies you need to look out for, and that sort of thing. This is kind of just a showcase of these fun different packs and customs, and just like fun different ways to play customs other than White Truffle. Please don't play White Truffle. I mean, it got nerfed. It got fixed in a hot fix like this morning, by the way. Wait, can I show that real quick? Wait, where's my Discord? Here you go. It's a little scuffed. Look at that. They released oh, you can't see that. Gosh darn it. There you go. They released a hot fix literally this morning. Look at that. Beautiful. You love to see it. All right, let's move to the next one. All right, this one comes from Mr. The Fantastic. It's an pack focused on XP, roll, and mana, but Mr. The Fantastic said that feels like XP always wins. So I decided to try and clean up the individual lines for each of those archetypes, and so that he can like mix and match the different archetypes, and then in the late game he can really hone in on one specific archetype. But yeah, the general game plan early, it's got a tempo with strong XP or roll or mana synergies. You know, you got like Okapi Bigfoot, Pug Lucky Cat. You got the Gargoyle with the Mana Hound, always very good. Mid game, you pivot to whatever stuff you level up into, whether it's XP or mana or whatever. In the late game, you find the strong abusers for each archetype, like your Sea Serpent or your Ostrich. But yeah, a lot of really fun ways to play this pack. I really enjoyed this. A lot of cross-pack synergy, and also just a lot of fun ability synergy, not as focused on heavy scaling, which is cool. And yeah, let me go ahead and show off one of the gameplay modes right here. All right, so this is using a mana synergy. As you can see early, I found the Gargoyle. I kept finding mana pets, and I was like, shoot, guess we're running a mana thing. This one's really centered around a Winter Spirit and Sea Serpent. And look, you see this? Yeah, I've got some strong pets, but I'm doing no scaling. No scaling needed. I mean, look at this team. There's no way we beat teams like this with the Rhino and the Owl, right? Well, guess what? I'll give you 3 guesses what happens in this battle. We win comfortably thanks to our level 3 Bakunawa, really. Bakunawa's very good, but hey, no scaling. We got the Skunk Bakunawa Disruption. We got the Sea Serpent for the big snipes. Let me show it off one more time right here. Look at this. We face one of these teams running like the Great One, Small One stuff. Normally be really scary for a team like this. But thankfully, with our big mana snipes and our big summons from the Chimera, we're able to take the win. So yeah, you can win without scaling in this pack. Sea Serpent and all this disruption goes a long way. Next, let's show off one of the roll synergies you can do in this pack. So this was a roll kind of center build. You can see I did some mana stuff early, some XP. You can really do some cross archetype gameplay. But once I got in the late game, found these Ostrich and Worm of Sand, you could just start scaling like crazy. I mean, just like look at the scaling you can get here. It's the level 2 Ostrich, and we're going for the scaling up the Harpy Eagle, which is just like a nice way to invest your HP into. I mean, look at the HP we're getting. We don't really need that much HP, but it's still pretty nice. And then, of course, the Worm of Sand combos with it as well. Look at the big stats here. They got level 3. They're going for Cat and like Stork and stuff. But we have a big Harpy Eagle. They don't get anything useful from the Stork. They've got Trumpets. I've got Trumpets, but I am able to clean it up in the end. And yeah, this is probably the main way to scale in the pack. I guess there's some Team Spirit stuff as well, but this is kind of like the main permanent scaling is Ostrich Worm of Sand. Here in the last turn, we face a full sniping team, but we have so much HP, they really don't do much to us, and we easily clear this one for a win with the roll synergy in the pack. And finally, let me show off the XP synergy as well. So like I said, this one is focused on XP. You can see early I used the, what's it called? I had some Sphinx, which is cool about Sphinx is you can use the, what's it called? You can use the magic lamp. It's like an early clownfish, which is neat. Late game, you can see I kind of pivoted into this Team Spirit sort of thing. Team Spirit with like clownfish. And the painted terrapin was honestly really nice just to have the food perks so I could use the gingerbread in battle, but then also still have protective food perks and kind of see the in battle level ups here. Face a skunk dolphin team going for the Quoll achievement. Like I said, not very long after the update. They sniped called my pets there, but thanks to our food perks from the painted terrapin, we get to use our high stats along with the food perks to get through them there. And yeah, the gingerbread is super nice to get a ton of stats every battle. But just having the all the in-battle synergies with the food perks is really nice. Another big scaling team right here. We get the level 2 painted terrapin. That doesn't really do much there with the what's it called, with the baguette, but we're still able to just barely clear that one. And yeah, we'll skip ahead to the last turn. Lots of synergies here. We got the level 2 Team Spirit now, level 3 Clownfish, Pug levels up in battle, Lucky Cat levels up in battle. We face Grounded Sap going for this Yeti Crab team that he showed off in his recent video. I gave this team, just so you know, I am still trying to do the challenges that Grounded gave me. It's just his teams are hard. I spent 25 attempts on this and did not get very far. It's not a very good team. But I'm trying out a lot of the different ones that Grounded suggested to me. All of our stuff gets replaced by Honey, but yeah, his team is just kind of... My team is made to win, that's what I'll say, and we're able to clean it up, get the XP synergy. Alright, and then we got one more pack to go. Let's go ahead and move on to that. Golly, this is like a long video. I've not done a video this long in a while. Anyway, let's move on to it. Finally, we are finishing off with this pack from Dekyle. You may know Dekyle as the Komodo hyena guy. Literally spams it all the time. His most bot tier 6 is Komodo, most bot tier 5 is hyena. You gotta respect that, even if there's some other pet that's in this pack that are pretty darn cringe, you know. But you know, we're running Komodo hyena. You gotta do what you can to win. Dekyle said he'd been having a losing streak with this iconic pack, and he was just looking for me to like juice it up a little bit. So basically the ideas I had, I mean, when I tested this, I went 3-3. This pack's already, his pack was already really solid. Main thing I did was just take out pets and foods I wasn't using and replace them with ones I thought would be more reliable. You know, I had like, you know, spider, beluga, sturgeon for the early dolphins and early tier 3s. I also added camel and rollaway monkey as a way to pay off the early stat investment from things like, you know, you got the Amphisbaena. He liked to take yak a lot, so, you know, you can use those yak stats and transform it into something with an in-battle ability. And then, what is that? I added some tier 4s for Tempo, Tar, Fairy Armadillo, and Hawk. And then late game, I added Leopard and Boar as good stat investments for the Komodo that don't really require positioning. Gameplay is pretty, you know, it's what you expect. You invest a lot of stats into an early unit, or you Tempo with strong in-battle abilities. And then late game, you get some high scaling with Komodo and use the hyena for disruption. Adding a second scaler late game can also be really nice, like running like a blue-ringed octopus or a monkey or a cow can be really good to just really boost your stats. And I found a lot of success doing like Komodo plus like helmeted hornbill as well. But yeah, let me give you an example replay for this kind of team. All right, so you can see in this one early, I found a lot of, what was that, lemmings? They're called lemmings, right? Yeah. Why can I not remember lemmings? I decided just to invest some stats into it. I think I was just buying stat foods for the most part. I tempoed with some hawks in the mid game. And then we found monkeys, and we're just going to go with that. And then here's the Komodo hyena. You can kind of see how it works with Komodo hyena when you try to run this sort of thing. It's a lot of fun. it is not very good, unless you already have some other scaling. So look, it's nice that my monkey triggers first, get stats on the reindeer, everything gets shuffled. Now, right now, hyena's level 1, so it's just going to swap attack and health of all the pets, which is kind of nice. I'm not sure if it really helps us here. I mean, I guess with our melon reindeer. Oh, it helped there with the ghost kitten. The ghost kitten had lower attacks, so we're able to clear that one. But once you get the hyena to level 2 is when it really starts being disruptive because it redoes everyone's positioning. Now, when you run to someone running 4 humphead wrasses and a cat, I don't think their positioning matters either, but you know, that's still pretty cool. Our mommy rabbit jumps before the attack gets removed, and then our melon from the reindeer means we're able to clear that one. And then, yeah, just focusing on hard scaling, and then you can even Compedo. You can see I did that here with the mommy rabbit. I was tired of it jumping and stuff, so there you go. We got level 3 platypus. And then on the last turn here, we got the 50-50 reindeer on turn 17. And I actually Compedoed the platypus into a second hyena. So just look at the chaos that's going to happen here. Everything gets shuffled. Everything gets switched around, attack and health and stuff. The cocoa beads totally betrays me here, but our food perk means we're able to win. That's a lot of fun. And we have one more replay to show off with this pack here. Also, I should have mentioned, all of these were recorded before the white truffle thing, so this was before Granite challenged me to do some fun teams, so take that what you will. But this is another one using an early yak, just having a turtle in front of it to take advantage of those high stats. Hatching chick is always nice. And then we go into the Komodo and the hyena, and then we start scaling a Sleipnir. Like I said, the double scalers, very, very nice, very helpful. You can see with like 1 heart here, like I had 1 heart on turn 13, and we're still able to pull it out in the end. Level 2 hyena really messes with people's positionings. They have the lionfish in the back, which is kind of nice for me. That means at the very worst we'll draw basically, but we're able to live that there. And we just continue with the Komodo hyena scaling, do some Compedo shenanigans with the Patagonian or yak into Patagonian Mara into hawk as well. And then on the last turn here, we face this huge level 3 leopard 50-50. They got big stats all around the board, but I've got big mana snipes and I already have a lot of high stats of my own. And because of that, we're able to take the win with the Dekyle, the Komodo hyena pack. So yeah, if this is something you're interested in or want to see your pack pimped out, make sure you join my Discord in the description below. Post your team along with the description on how it plays and which packs you own in the Pimp My Pack channel. I don't want to build a pack featuring pets you don't actually own because that'd be kind of lame. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. Still working on some fun teams from Grounded. Don't worry, just trying to, you know, do some other stuff in the meantime while I'm working on those teams. And yeah, congrats again to the people who won the giveaway. Golly, that feels like so long ago. Anyway, but yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do the generic stuff. I'll catch you guys in the next video, but until then, as always, stay true.